Usually we look at phrases in Irish, as in the Irish language or Irish Gaelic. But did you know that there are some things that Irish people say in English that are specific to Ireland? And when we say them in other parts of the world, people don't really understand what we are talking about. So let's go through a couple of the more common ones today. A lot of these words or phrases I didn't even realize were strange until I went out of Ireland, like when I was in different parts in the world, and also I lived for a time in London as well, and that was where a couple of very amusing misunderstandings happened because of these Irish phrases or hyper no English phrases. So the first one is the messages. The messages, obviously messages mean like text messages or to send someone a message, but also in Ireland the messages means like the groceries that you have just bought in the supermarket. So if someone asks you to help them bring in the messages from the car, it's not like secret messages or letters or anything like that. It's just the bags of food and stuff that they need to put away. And I've been so used to hearing this all my life that I never even thought about the fact that it doesn't really make much sense. Anyway, once you're inside with the messages in the bags, you are probably going to put them in the press. And this one, I had no idea. Before I lived in London, I had no idea that not everybody uses the word press in this way. I often used to say, like someone would ask me, where is something X and Y? I would say, oh, it's in the press. And then the weird looks I would get, oh, were so funny. So the press is the cupboard, the kitchen cupboard. I have had people misunderstand me and think that I'm talking about a trouser press or something, or a printing press or something like that. But no, it's just the cupboard. And once again, it doesn't really make much sense, and I don't really know the origin of why Irish people call the kitchen cupboard the press. But anyway, now you know what to do when an Irish person tells you to put the messages in the press. Another word that has a different meaning, an extra meaning in Ireland, is the word gas. So of course we use gas when we're talking about like bottles of gas. What do we call it? I can only think of King of the Hill and all this propane. Canisters of gas, natural gas. And we don't say gas for like car fuel, we say petrol and diesel. But when we use gas to talk about a person, when we use it as an adjective, it means that somebody is funny or fun, or funny verging on a little bit mad or crazy. So you might hear someone say, don't forget to invite Mary to the party, she's gas. She's gas. Or I was talking to John last night, he's gas. Or even just saying to someone directly, you're gas. You're gas, you are. So funny, fun, sometimes verging on a little bit mad. If someone invites you into their house and they are offering you things, they might say, would you like a mineral? And you might think that they're talking about rocks or precious stones or something like that, or even vitamins and minerals. But it is in fact a word for like a soft drink or a fizzy drink, which I know, of course, the word for that can vary a lot depending on where you are, like soda and pop and things like that. But yes, a mineral in Ireland. I think it's not so common among the young people. I think it's more of an older person sort of thing. I've only heard older people, like grandparents, saying that kind of thing. And again, I don't really know the origin. I'm going to presume that it's from mineral water, and then they just expanded the use of that word to every other soft drink. So would you like a mineral is, would you like a soft drink or a fizzy drink? Or, well, any drink in general that's not alcoholic. If somebody asks you where is the Jacks, I'm not sure if this has spread, I'm not sure if this is just Irish or if like it's in global usage now. You can let me know. But the jacks means the toilet or the bathroom. And the next one I'm sure you'll know because it's so famous, it's spread all over the world. The craic, to have the craic, or what's the craic? So craic means like fun. It depends on how you're using it. General fun, like we had great craic last night at the party. In other words, we had a great time, we had a lot of fun. We can say, what's the craic? To mean like, how are you? What's up? What's going on? And it is spelled C-R-A-I-C. So I think that's pretty well known. Sometimes it's not, and I have heard incidences of people thinking that people are talking about like crack cocaine when they say craic. Like, did you have good crack or something? When they're talking about an event. So that can lead to some pretty strange misunderstandings. If there is a really bad misunderstanding, somebody might threaten to call the Gardaí or the guards. So we have a different word for police in Ireland. We generally don't say the police, hardly ever. Usually it is, we say to call the guards or the Gardaí. And that is because in Irish, the name of the police force is Gardaí Síochána. Síochána means peaceful. So like the peaceful guards, peace guards. And even though we don't speak Irish, well, most of Ireland doesn't speak Irish on a daily basis. For a normal conversation, we would still sometimes say the Gardaí, saying it in Irish, or also as well just say the guards as well. And referring to a single policeman or woman, we could say a Garda. Well, for a woman it would be a Bangarda. But anyway, referring to one Garda. Like I was talking to a Garda yesterday. Or a guard. If you want to say a place is a horrible place, if you want to say that something is like a place is a really horrible place, you can call it a kip. And I know kip means like to have a kip is like to have a little nap. I think that's pretty general in England and the States as well, to have a kip, to have a nap. But I think the usage of it to mean a horrible place it's only Irish. I'm not sure though. I think it's something we only say in Ireland. So it's the same as saying like a place is like a shithole. Like this country is a shithole, or this country is a kip. The same thing. We can also say a dump as well, which I think is more international, or a tip. Well, that would usually be for like bedrooms. Your bedroom is a tip. There's a question you might hear in Dublin, and I hope you never hear it because it is a rather aggressive thing to say, and you might hear some people, usually tracksuit wearing, suspicious looking people, who might be saying to each other, are you starting? They don't actually say the words like properly, are you starting? It's more like, are you starting? And usually with a bit of a head wobble, general strange pigeon-like movement going on with their body. And are you starting means like, do you want to start a fight with me? Like, it's an aggressive way to kind of tempt somebody into a fight. We can also say it as a joke as well. But if you go on holidays to Ireland and you're in Dublin and one of these people asks you if you're starting, I would get out of the situation as quickly as possible. The word grand is a grand word to know. Grand is like, it just, as well as, you know, the general meaning of a grand house, like a big, beautiful, impressive house or something like that. It also just means okay and fine, or just okay, like just about okay. And we can use it for almost everything. It's a very common response to a question in Ireland. So like you might say, how are you to someone? How's it going? What's the crack? And they might say, grand, I'm grand. How was the party last weekend? It was grand. How was the holiday? Grand. All just meaning fine and okay. It's also very common to hear it in the phrase, it'll be grand, or sure, it'll be grand. When we're not really sure how something is going to turn out, but we're going to hope that it's going to be okay. Like if you're trying to fix something, you can kind of just fix it, but it's not perfect. Someone will always say, sure, it'll be grand. Just leave it as it is. It'll be grand. It'll be okay in the end. And finally, I think I should let the little dove join in for this last one. We have your man and your woman. I think this is a bit of a strange phrase. I even used to have problems with this phrase. Someone's emotional. I used to have problems with this phrase when I was younger because I used to hear my parents talking about your man and your woman. And I never asked them who these people were. So I grew this impression that they were two very special people that had to have these special titles of your man and your woman, and that everybody in the country knew them because a lot of people would talk about your man and your woman. I later found out that it's just a way of referring to a person. It really just means that guy or that man or that woman, depending on the context. Like, for example, if you say to your friend, look at your man over there. That just means look at that guy over there. Or I was talking to your man earlier in the shop and he said blah blah blah. And in that case, it's more like referring to someone that you both already know. Like in this case, for example, the man who owns the shop or the man who is always working in the shop. And of course the same goes for your woman, just meaning that woman, or that woman that we both know, depending on the context. And for females, you can also say your one. Your one. Your one instead of your woman. Your man, your woman, your one. Okay, so I hope that helped you to understand a little bit more of the strange things Irish people say. So from me and the dove, good night.